Okay, self-efficacy theory. Self-efficacy theory is to do with confidence, but it's a particular type of confidence. So self-efficacy is a specific form of confidence. So Bandura says that our confidence is affected by certain situations and performing certain tasks or certain skills in different situations. So what we're saying is that your confidence will be different performing different types of skills, be that passing, dribbling or whatever it might be in your sport. And even then, even that your confidence, your self-efficacy will be different performing those skills in different types of situations. So some situations would be easier than others, for example, or performing against certain opponents you would be more confident or less confident depending on how good those opponents were. So it's a real specific form of confidence that says, right now when I'm performing this skill in this way, in this situation, how much confidence do I have? The key thing about self-efficacy theory is that there are four sources or antecedents of self-efficacy. So antecedents are things that affect something. So four things that affect your self-efficacy. This is really important that you know these four things. Any question on self-efficacy, and also questions that ask about improving self-efficacy, you need to talk about these four sources. So the first one is performance accomplishments. Performance accomplishments is the most influential source out of the four. So the four are in rank order. Number one is that has the most effect. This is performance accomplishments. Performance accomplishments is if you've accomplished something, if you've achieved success in the past, then you are more confident of being able to do it again. So someone who's scored their last penalty and is now about to take a penalty might have quite high performance accomplishments because I scored last time. I know I can, therefore I know I can score. Therefore my confidence, my self-efficacy is higher. All the sources can affect self-efficacy in the negative way as well. So if I've missed my last penalty, then I might have lower self-efficacy about the penalty that I'm about to take. Indeed, we see it that players who miss a penalty might not even take the next one, probably down to some negative performance accomplishments. The second most important source is vicarious experience. So vicarious means through others. So if I see somebody else performing something, that gives me evidence that the task can be done. However, this isn't as good as performance accomplishments because it might be something that I haven't personally done myself yet. So I don't know whether I can do it or not, but I know that other people can do it, therefore I gain confidence from that. So if you think about things like when you do things for the first time, abseiling or things like that, that if you see someone else have a go first, that gives you a bit of encouragement that you are able to do it as well. So we're basing this on modelling from social learning theory. By watching others, I see that it can be done, and therefore I believe that I can do it as well. Third is verbal persuasion. So verbal persuasion is what it says it is. It's either yourself, giving yourself positive statements, positive self-talk, or it could be from others. You could be getting those statements from others. For example, your coach or your captain could be giving you some praise or some encouragement. So verbal persuasion is fairly straightforward. This tends to be one that we would use in a bad way. You know, human beings are very good at saying negative things. We say negative things to ourselves when we do things badly, or that we think we can't do it, for example. So it's about turning that around and saying positive things and gaining confidence from it. So think from your own experience. When someone tells you something bad, they have a go at you, they criticise you, that knocks your confidence, alright? But think about how good you feel when you get some praise, alright? And that does help your confidence. The last one is emotional arousal. This one's probably the most difficult to understand. The key thing about the arousal is it's not the level of arousal that's important. So it doesn't matter whether we've got high, middle or low arousal levels. It's how the performer views that arousal, because remember, what we're saying is that these four things affect your self-efficacy. So how does it affect my confidence? It affects it in a good way if I think the level of arousal I'm at is good for me. Okay, but it would affect it in a bad way if I think that level of arousal is bad for me. So I gain confidence if I'm at a high level of arousal and I think that I'm going to perform well. I'm thinking, yes, I'm up for this today, I'm going to play well, this is good for me. You could have someone with the same level of arousal, who's at high levels of arousal, who's thinking, I'm far too nervous here, this is no good for me, I'm all over the place, I'm going to play badly because of this. So it's about how you perceive your level and getting yourself into your own zone where you should be, where you feel most comfortable, where you feel most confident. So any question on self-efficacy, improving self-efficacy, you should try to use those 4 sources as a basis for your answer. Alright, so mention the 4 sources, mention them by name, alright, and say how you would improve self-efficacy using them. So things like setting achievable goals. If you set a goal and then achieve it, that's gaining performance accomplishments. So we're using performance accomplishments through goal setting to improve our self-efficacy. As well, for performance accomplishments, try to ensure success. So as a coach, you might make the task easier, you might make sure they succeed in training, for example, or you could remind them of a previous success, right? Or even by showing a video when they perform well last time. We can also do imagery or mental rehearsal. So this might get us into our zone. This might be used for emotional arousal. Right, so to calm yourself down, to get yourself into the right frame of mind. Vicarious experience, we would use a demonstration. Okay, so a good coach would use a demonstration, make sure that is correct. But also there's more impact if that comes from a role model who's highly respected, or someone of high status, or from someone who is as similar to the performer as possible. So in terms of their ability, their sex, their age, etc. Verbal persuasion, we would try to use some reinforcement, alright, some praise, or to get the performer themselves to use positive self-talk. So teach them about positive self-talk, get them to use thought stopping to stop the negative thoughts and to replace those with positive thoughts and positive statements in their own head.